Welcome to another Route Pro vlog. James Poyster here. Today, we're going to talk wash, dry, fold, and about the industry, how it gets knocked down and gets back up again. As you guys know, I'm a huge baseball fan. In fact, I think I was born with a baseball in my hand. And there's a lot of stories about players who got injured or who struggled and got back up on their feet, maybe got knocked down again, got back up on their feet and whatnot. I'm going to share the story today with Tony Conigliaro of the Boston Red Sox. In 1964, he came up as a 19-year-old rookie. He was a local boy, and he ended up setting the record. He still holds it today for most home runs by a teenager. Bryce Harper got close, but not quite enough. Tony C became the second youngest player to hit 100 home runs in their career. And as he started to really blossom into what we think was going to be a Hall of Fame career, a tragic thing happened in August of 1967. He got beamed right in the eye, pretty much ruined the career, ended his season. The Red Sox ended up losing in the World Series. He fought back a couple years later, and he ended up getting Comeback Player of the Year. In fact, in 1970, he hit 36 home runs. Got traded, but his eyesight started to go down again. But again, he tried hard. He fought hard. In 1975, he made the opening day roster, was the starting DH for that historic 75 Red Sox team that ended up losing in the World Series. He didn't play very long after that. Kind of reinvented himself, got a job as an announcer for the Red Sox, but again, he had a stroke. May not be the big success story. He passed away in 1990, and it's really sad. I'm here at his grave north of Boston. I'm going to leave a baseball there on his tombstone. You know, a lot of people think the industry is dying. There's an article just coming out how it's a diminishing industry. And, you know, what's really sad about that is, although it might be diminishing, it doesn't mean you can't grow. Sometimes it's the best opportunity you have. Today, we're going to talk about wash, dry, fold, how that might be able to help reinvent your dry cleaning and laundry business. Stay tuned as Mark will join me with an interesting video, another Route Pro vlog. Wash, dry, fold. We're going to be getting to it in a second. Actually, I was looking at my old JPEG Sports Studio. Interesting, I have a trophy here. This is actually the Tony Conigliaro Award that was given to Jim Eisenreich of the Kansas City Royals back in 1990. Anyway, join Mark as he kind of tours a battleship and sees what kind of dirty laundry he can uncover.
Hey, Route Pros Nation, Route Pros Mark here. Hey, we're after a project, and I had to take an opportunity to come visit something that somebody told me was a really cool laundry facility. Well, they gave me the address, and look where we ended up. We're at the USS North Carolina, beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. So we're going to take a little tour. We're going to go right down in the inside of this thing and try to find that great facility. Let's go. Hey, Route Pros Nation. Route Pros Mark here. We are on the USS North Carolina battleship. This was from World War II. It is currently stationed in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I couldn't help but take a chance to show y'all a video. Welcome to our laundry and dry cleaning room. So if we take a step in, what we're first going to do is we're going to look at the receiving room. This is where all the clothes, as you can see, are tagged in. They've got their garment bags, their tags, their counters, maybe their thermal seals over there. And we're going to walk over here slowly to the washroom. In here, you've got your dryers. And of course, over here, you've got your washers here too. How would you like to work in there? As we turn back through, we're going to show our cobbler room. Everybody that does shoe cleaning, we've got the shoe cleaning over there. Let's take a walk down the hallway here through, again, the battleship USS North Carolina. Over here, once everything's cleaned and processed and repaired, we've got our presses. Here's where we have our inspection. You've got some sort of a tablecloth or a bed sheet press. You've got your pant presses. Look, we've even got some collar cuffs right there. This gentleman pressing, he looks happy. How would you like to have that duty? And then finally, to our final step, we've got the finishing room that includes all the final inspection of the shirts. And by the way, if you were an employee here, if you were real privileged, you got to sleep at work. How would you like to not go home at the end of the day and just sleep at work? So hope you enjoyed our brief dry cleaning and laundromat tour of our 24-hour facility here at the USS Battleship North Carolina, stationed in Wilmington, North Carolina. Everybody take care.
Great tour, Mark. We appreciate that. Always nice to see history kind of in a neat setting there. Obviously, the laundry facility at a battleship, that is pretty awesome. Today, we're going to talk about wash, dry, fold. So today's vlog, we're going to cover 3 questions. We're going to kind of help assist in answering 3 questions that you have about wash, dry, fold. The very first one, yes or no, should I be doing it? Well, I kind of consider wash, dry, fold a lot like routes were when I first got started in 2000. At the time, people were saying there's really not much of a need. There were some people already doing it, but not much. 2004, people were starting to dabble. Let's get a van. We had some franchises doing it, a lot of bobtail routes. 2008, as we prepared for the recession, people were like, we should probably start thinking about it. We should probably start having a game plan. Our manuals jumped off the shelf. 2012, it became a should. I think we should get going on it. A lot of people had routes, but they weren't really growing them. 2016, it's become a must-do. If you're late to the party, it could be too late. But 2020 and beyond, it's now do routes right or not at all. As a lot of people are projecting that routes are going to become more than 50, 60, 70% of dry cleaning business. Wash, dry, fold, the time is now. First of all, we know this. It's a diminishing industry. Since 2008, it's gone down, and a lot of people thought it would bounce back up. It always tend to recover. Not this time. We have more competition. We have more competition with more dry cleaners doing routes. And again, when you got a diminishing industry and increased competition, you've got to do something. Again, with all those more routes, we're also in the Amazon era. Everything's getting delivered. Everything's getting delivered. Laundromats is really one of the keys. They're starting to deliver not only wash, dry, fold, but they're getting in the dry cleaning game as well. At the Clean Show, a lot of our calls and contacts and potential leads came from people that had laundromats that were getting into the dry cleaning industry. And don't think they can't hurt you. Margins are margins and market share is market share. And finally, you're already there. You're already established in those neighborhoods. You're already making pickup and delivery. So the time is now to get going on wash, dry, fold. You add up all these reasons and it gives you a definitive answer that you should be doing wash, dry, fold, especially on the delivery end. Let's take a look at some examples in the field. We get asked all the time, should we do wash, dry, fold? Well, in today's world, I think everybody does laundry. What's kind of cool about it, though, is sometimes you'll get your foot in the door in places that you didn't expect. For example, I'm delivering to Eileen's Cookies. I'm pretty excited about that. But what's funny is there's a dry cleaner right there. And what happened one time, we parked our van right here, and we were able to get a customer who saw our van because the store there didn't promote routes. Hopefully today, I'll get a free cookie. Here at Eileen's Cookies, we actually pick up their aprons. It's a pretty good deal. We pick it up every Tuesday and Friday and charge them by the pound. And yes, sometimes we get a cookie. So wash, dry, fold part 2. One of the things we always say is, it's good to market to schools or to market to, maybe you market it to massage places or to a restaurant, but you should always market it to your current customers. I'm delivering a wash, dry, fold order now, and as I go to the front porch, I notice I have another bag waiting for me and a dry cleaning bag. So we're noticing that wash, dry, fold tends to get some repeat offenders. You get to pick up and deliver at the same time with a lot of wash, dry, fold. So if you want to do wash, dry, fold, the proof's right here in the bag. The second question I get asked about wash, dry, fold is how should we produce it? And it's a pretty good question. Obviously, it depends on your setup. A lot of times people already have a laundromat. If you'd have room, or if you have the facility, go ahead and do it. I know we do. I know we have the opportunity to do it at every single place. But one of the things I quite often recommend is to outsource it. Just have a laundromat do it. You know, they'll charge $80, $90 a pound, depends on what you're going to charge. And they're always looking for work too. They get it done next day. They can handle the smaller loads. They're, pretty much, this is what they do. I always say put your aces in your places. But some people are actually using their drop stores, and some of them have actually converted it. Whether they've just put a washing machine and dryer in there, or maybe it's a former package plant. And so what they've done is installed their own little facility in there, thus utilizing the drop store for both labor and obviously for operations. I got an example of that right here. A1 Cleaners, Rockford, Illinois, drop store. Pick up some clothes, but if you look at the back, the ultimate wash, dry, fold headquarters here. Wonderful washers and dryers. And the superstar right here.
No, you don't see me. I'm not here. No.
Okay. She's not here. And Rachel up here is, she wears military garb because she feels like it's a battle every day with customers and management.
Right. Hello.
And somebody left their
Drugs.
Trazodone, which is for depression, so they're probably sad that they left it here. So, anyway, pretty cool setup here at A1 store. The third and final question, how do you price it? I think we got to talk about the three different models you can see here to the side of me. Number one is subscription. This is where people pay either a monthly fee, a bi-weekly fee, a weekly fee. I've seen it done all sorts of ways. Number two, per bag. You just charge a certain amount for the bag, and you might have two different size bags. And finally, per pound. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of each, and you decide. When we talk to subscription pricing models and when we talk to people that are doing it, these are kind of the pros we hear. And there's going to be some more, but in general, the customer knows the pricing. They know what they're paying. They're kind of consistent billing. It's easy to do. It's easy to charge, easy to mark in. You obviously what you're trying to do is just get that repetitive income. And you're hopefully getting the repetitive flow of business as well. When you're doing subscription pricing in anything, the goal is consistency. That way the customer and you are on the same page. Again, what they're going to be charging. I've seen this model done various times in various ways, but in general, it's usually done weekly. It's usually done where you charge the customer each week, whether you do it at a school, and that tends to work probably there a little bit better than it does in other places. Subscription pricing, a lot of pros that really can work bank error in your favor. But on the flip side, there is some cons. There are some definitely not so much benefits to it. Number one, customer satisfaction. Quite often, customers might forget to leave it out, and then they get upset that you charge them for it. They get frustrated. We don't see the retention staying very long with subscription pricing, just because sometimes they also will overload it, and then you have to, upcharge them or charge for extras, and then they're like, well, what am I paying for? This is also very difficult to sell and market. Anybody that's been doing it will tell you, it's, trying to explain that we're just going to charge you a set fee, really isn't always easy to sell. The commitment isn't going to be there. They may go, well, I'm not quite so sure yet. And now I'm kind of signing a contract where you're automatically going to be charged. And the final thing is trends don't always match subscriptions. People usage isn't always consistent. So that's why it's difficult for subscription pricing. Now, when it comes to per bag pricing, again, similar pros. The customer knows what they're paying for. You could have two different size bags, so they know whether it's $25 a bag or $40 a bag or something like that. It's also easy to tag in or mark it in. You don't have to weigh it. You just sit there and say, okay, $25, no problem. Again, the goal is consistency. Whenever we can be consistent, again, the consumer's consistent. And again, you also have, various bag sizes, like I said. So you can try to kind of meet the customer's wants and needs with this. The per bag one seems to be one that is becoming a little bit more popular than subscription pricing. It's the one where, I think even, various bag companies have three different size bags. So again, if you can meet the trends, that kind of works out pretty good. Per bag pricing, a lot of success stories. But on the flip side, there's some cons too as well. Again, the customer's trends may cause issues. We'll talk about that a little bit, but their trends when it comes to laundry could be when the kids come home and maybe they only have one bag, or maybe they have something they need in a rush. The bag may not be full, and then you charge them for a full bag. Again, that may be discouraged. The bag might be overflowing. Then we've seen some people stuff some stuff in. Sometimes they'll throw dry cleaning items in there thinking they're paying per bag, and then you have to call them and deal with that customer problem. The biggest issue, like I said, is sometimes when they're doing laundry, they might need a second bag, and then they want to fill that, but if they're only filling a partial bag, they don't want to charge it, so they're going to wait. But when it comes to laundry, it's all about trends. It's all about needs, though, too. I mean, sometimes we do laundry when we're almost out of something. So thus, if they want to stuff the bag, then the turnaround time might have to be quicker per bag pricing. So, I looked at a lot of notes when it comes to per bag pricing. Again, I think it's a little bit more popular than the subscription, but again, a lot of pluses and minuses, which leads us to the third and final one, the per pound pricing. Again, the pros, customers' trends can vary. We don't have to meet their trends. They don't have to meet our arrival time. They can leave us one bag, no bag, two bags, much like dry cleaning. Number two, it's easier to sell. It's just easier to explain to people that this is what you're paying. I've done enough of this so far. As you all know, we're the Knock Fathers, and we got a lot of route pros out there. It's hard to explain the other ones. This one's real simple to explain. We just charge per pound. Should have a minimum, obviously, when it comes to this. Number three, less confusion. It's just, again, there's less confusion. The customer's expectation is whatever you're going to charge me, that's great. Number four, if you're outsourcing, it's probably how you're going to be paying for that too. Thus, it's easier to kind of keep track of your margins a little bit, adjust your pricing accordingly. You kind of know what you're paying, which thus is kind of why I think it's kind of good for the customer, because, if we're trying to do all the other ones, there's going to be a little, more confusion. Some of the cons, they don't know what they're paying. I hear that a lot. Now, what I think is kind of funny is in the dry cleaning industry, not a lot of people know what they're paying anyway. They don't know what their shirt prices are. They don't know what their pants prices are. They don't, they just kind of throw clothes in the bag, and when they get them back, they just trust that we tagged it in right. It's probably the same way, but two, we also have to weigh it. We do have to set it up a scale somewhere. And that sometimes can be complicated. Now, if you're outsourcing it, we just wait till you take it to there, let them tell us how much it costs, and then adjust accordingly. But again, I do notice sometimes wash, dry, fold, depends on the point of sale. There's usually a 10-pound minimum, which there probably should be. I've seen people do it where they charge, let's say, $2.50 a pound for the first 10 pounds, and then $1.50 for after that. I think you can be kind of creative on that. But I think the bottom line is you go with the keep it simple, stupid philosophy when it comes to pricing. 3 different pricing, 3 different decisions. I think you choose what's best for you. As we talk about wash, dry, fold, we kind of combine it with turning suspects into prospects. All these people could be dry cleaning prospects or suspects, but everybody can do wash, dry, fold. I'm here with Troy. He got a new customer yesterday, new sign up, and he is delivering both a wash, dry, fold bag and a dry cleaning bag to this front porch. As you can tell, when he got the new customer, he mentioned also wash, dry, fold. And he said, hey, you know what? I might as well try it out. So again, when you get a new customer, give them a wash, dry, fold bag too. What's really kind of cool about it is sometimes you get a wash, dry, fold customer and you get some dry cleaning out of it. Or you get a dry cleaning customer and you'll get wash, dry, fold. Of course, no vlog would not be complete without a cupcake signing. Yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed our wash, dry, fold vlog. We have a lot more in store for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask Mike, Mark, or I. You can email us at mikemarkori@theroutepro.com. These vlogs are great opportunities for you to fill in some of your weekly meetings. If you're struggling on some content for your weekly meetings, or if it's timely, don't hesitate to crank out an old vlog and take a look at them. We've had people say they look at a second, third one, ask if I've edited it because there's something new in there. No, they're the original. So anyway, if you have any other vlogs you want, don't hesitate to contact us. Happy selling, guys.